Yo, what's up guys, Boss here, and I'm back with another YouTube video, and this time, guys, I have a really exciting video. We're going to be using a deck that I was known to use 2 years ago, so like in 2017. It's Giant Bowler Barbarians. You guys are probably thinking, what? And believe it or not, this is what I used a couple of years ago. A lot of you guys might not know this, but this is what I played top ladder with. This was my best deck before Giant Prince E-Drag. I've actually finished top 50 with this deck before, a couple of times top 100, I think. And yeah, I'm just testing it out again because now there's 5 Barbarians, and I haven't really tested the deck since then. And I found this deck to be quite successful. I actually got to 7K. I got to 7K earlier, of course, with Giant E-Drag, but then I dropped a little bit, got back to 7K with this, and I was like, why not make a video out of it, show you guys this deck. It might look crazy, but believe me, guys, I mean, it works. I made it work, and it's just really fun to play because it's, you know, it's kind of off meta, and people do not expect this deck at all. That's the other thing. Like, Giant Bowler Barbarians, they are not expecting it at all. Like, there's 2 things in a Giant deck that you don't see normally. The Barbarians and the Bowler. So it's like, what? And yeah, before we get started, guys, I just wanted to let you guys know I have a Discord that'll be in the description below. I like to shout that out like once a month because in that Discord, I let you guys know when I upload YouTube videos and when I'm streaming, so then that way you guys are notified on everything. I also have a Q&A where my mods will answer questions you guys might have, or maybe I'm online and can talk to you guys a little bit. I usually stop by there at least a couple of times a day to like chill and talk to you guys. With that out of the way, guys, let's go ahead and go into the first game, and I'll show you guys how I use this deck. And trust me, it works. So we can go ahead and kind of wait for him, because I don't really have a log or zap, so I don't really want to cycle my minions out of rotation. I guess while we're kind of waiting for him to make the first play, I'll talk a little bit about the matchup. So like Mortar Bait is the easiest deck to beat with this deck, because you have 3 spells, the Bowler, and yeah, the Bowler just does so well against the Rascals, so yeah, nothing more to say. Mortar Bait and Log Bait are the easiest matchups for this deck. So harder matchups, I would say, are like, I'm trying to think of a couple like harder matchups. I feel like Golem's one of them because of well, what we're versing right now, Baby Dragon. The Baby Dragon can be annoying to deal with. So yeah, Golem's pretty tough. P.E.K.K.A.'s beatable though, especially now that there's 5 Barbarians. I found it easier to beat P.E.K.K.A. Okay, I think this guy's running RG Lightning. I might Fireball that, but I may not, because then I won't have anything for the Ewiz. I'm just gonna go in with a Zap here. Like, I'm just doing it to cycle. Like, I'm not really expecting to get damaged. So we are versing RG Lightning, guys. We do have the Barbarians, which is really good. And since he has the Lightning, his Lightning, of course, doesn't get any value on top of really anything except the Bowler. And really, I don't even know if playing a Lightning on the Bowler's good value. I mean, I'm not really sure. I guess it does. It takes like half of the Bowler's health or something like that. So I guess it could be value for him if he like hits a Mega Minion and a Bowler, but otherwise it's not that good of value. Alright. So actually that Mega Minion ended up going in front, so a little bit of a mistake on my end, and he's just gonna Fisherman and activate King, of course. I mean, we could kind of see that coming. Whenever they're using a Fisherman deck, I mean, you can pretty much count on them activating King. I'm gonna go in with a Fireball here to hit the Furnace and that Fisherman. And then since he decided to go in with his Baby Dragon, I'm gonna go in with a Bowler, or excuse me, a Giant Other Lane. Let's log here, and then I'm gonna go in with Barbarians on top of his RG. And we may be able to break through, because look at that, the Fisherman ended up pulling the wrong thing. We have the Giant on the tower, Minions on the tower, Bowler on the tower, and he did end up taking our tower, but that was an insane counter push, and now we have like more counter push potential because we have the Bowler still on the map. Let's see here. He is gonna stop it looks like, but we do have a small lead. The only thing we need to watch out for is that he could go in with Barbarians in the pocket. Or RG in the pocket, excuse me. And then we'll have to play Barbarians on them. That's what I meant to say. Let's go in with a Mega Minion here. I kind of want to kill his Mega Minion, so I'm going to go with minions on top of it. Giant to tank for that baby dragon. And then, yeah, as I said, we will just always be able to, like, play Barbarians on that RG, which is good. So let's go in with Barbarians here, and he decides to go in with the baby dragon. He might end up going in with a log, but look at that, Barbarians already take it out, and the RG only ends up getting one shot, which isn't too bad, I would say. I'm gonna go in with Zap, and he decides to Lightning. Let's try to get a Fireball off here. Like, I really needed to finish all that off. Otherwise, it would have dealt, yeah, way too much damage to my tower. Let's go in with a Bowler this lane, because I don't really need the Bowler to defend the RG. And also, guys, yeah, I'll hopefully get some opportunities to do some bypassing. That's what I used to always do with this deck, where you could, yeah, bypass buildings. It's really hard to explain, but if I have an opportunity to do it, I will, of course. We're just kind of like cycling stuff here. Ooh, I was hoping that Bowler would get another roll. Oh wow, that Giant was like trying to get a shot in from really far away. That was weird. Okay, he went in with a Lightning, so it might be time to go in pretty aggressive, to be honest. I'm going to go in with a Giant, and then I'm going to go in with Barbarians. And then if he decides to Furnace, which he did, we can go ahead and play Minions, because then he doesn't have Splash to kill the Minions. Giant ends up getting on the tower. I think a Mega Minion did too. Barbarians are on his king. Okay, guys, wait, there's one Barbarian. That is going to put us in Fireball Zap log range, because we need to get back to a... Wait, I think if we Fireball and Log, we'll get back to Zap. And that is going to be a good game, guys. Oh my gosh, that was such a close game. Honestly, that was, I would say, a pretty even matchup. I mean, he can't really break through us because we have the Barbarians, but we kind of had like a tower trade situation at the beginning of the game, which was quite interesting. But yeah, I felt like we played that pretty well. We kind of stayed on top of things. We never really went too aggressive because we always wanted to make sure we had defense for RG. And yeah, as I was talking about, I probably didn't talk about it much at all during the game because it was so intense. But how the bypass works is you go in with a Bowler, and this works a lot against like cannons, mortars. I don't like Teslas, it can, but more so against like cannons, mortars, and stuff like that. What you do is you like play a Bowler in the back, and then what you do is you go in with the Giant kind of as the Bowler's crossing the bridge. You play the Giant on the left of the Bowler, so then the Bowler's kind of pushing the Giant away from the building. That's what I did a lot, and that's why this deck was so successful for me. That was one of the biggest things I did with it. Oh, and I don't even think I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. I actually won a 12-win GC with my Giant Bowler deck yesterday, and that's part of the reason why I decided to run it on ladder. I was like, I got 12 wins in a GC with it, maybe it'll work alright on ladder, and so far, I mean, things have been so good. I mean, what can I say? But yeah, I've had a lot of fun. This is the most fun I've had playing ladder in, like, a really long time. Because I'm playing a deck that I haven't used in like 2 years, and it's still working. Or take that back, not 2 years. I haven't used it in like a year. But I used it the most like 2 years ago, I would say. Okay, we found another game here. So, all right, he's giving us the thanks. Let's go in with a Bowler on that Ghost, because we didn't really have anything else in rotation to do so, and he goes in with a P.E.K.K.A. So, let's just go ahead and go in with a Mega Minion. I could have also probably played a Giant in the back, but I decided Mega Minion would be alright. And now I'm going to Giant, because we kind of need to get a tank down for that P.E.K.K.A. And then if he goes in with, like, a Battle Ram or something other lane, I'm going to go in with Barbarians on top of it. If not, let's just log this P.E.K.K.A, and then the tower's for sure going to be able to finish it off. So P.E.K.K.A, guys, is not, I would say, a hard counter. I think it's a difficult matchup, but it's not the worst thing you could play. The worst thing, or I think one of the worst, is, like, Lava Loon, in my opinion. So, yeah, as I said, P.E.K.K.A's kind of difficult, but there's things worse than it. And I feel like, as I said, with there being 5 Barbarians... Oh my god! Guys, look at the Barbarians on his tower! Oh my gosh! Guys, that's what I'm talking about. People don't know the power of the Barbarians. This guy's going with the wow and the laugh. Guys, I can't believe it. So now all we really need to do is... I mean, we can cycle a Zap Log here. We're up a ton of Elixir. And at this point, we just need to get, like... I don't even know, 1 or 2 more hits on his tower with anything, and then we'll be in spell cycle range. He's spamming the laugh. I mean, I know, like, he must be upset and everything, but yeah, that laugh is a little distracting, so I'm gonna mute. And we need to be careful here, because I'm pretty much forced to drop Barbarians on top of that P.E.K.K.A, so let's go ahead and play Minions on top of that Battle Ram. And he decides to go in with a Magic Archer. So, I guess we can go in with Log on top of that Magic Archer. And then Bowler, I'm kind of forced to play something, and he decided to go in with a P.E.K.K.A in the back. So, I'm actually going to go in with a Giant at the bridge. I think we should try to apply pressure here, just so we're guaranteed to kind of take his left tower. And he's probably going to go hard in the right lane, I'm assuming. And he decides to actually go in with a Fisherman and prevent us from taking this tower. So interesting. Bowler is going to get a roll in, and that's going to put us in Fireball log range, I believe. So all we need to do, Giant here to tank, send in a Fireball, and then if we zap that to delay it, go in with the log there, that's going to be a good game, guys. I really just think he really underestimated that those Barbarians. Like, oh gosh, like, he went in with the poison on them, and the ghost kind of, like, stuttered. It didn't hit them. It was very weird, and then they ended up locking on the tower and took over half of it. So that's what I'm saying about this deck. The surprise factor of this deck is absolutely nuts. Like, people aren't expecting Bowler Barbarians. It's, like, insane. And that's why this deck was so successful for me a couple of years ago. No one was expecting it, and also once you, like, master the interactions, it becomes even stronger. So there you go. Off to a great start, 2 wins in a row. And I would say, like, as I said, that's about an even matchup. That's probably, like, I would say slightly in his favor, but we just really surprised him. Alright, so, yeah, working our way up. We're 1 win away from 7,100, which is great. And guys, if you enjoyed this deck, let me know if you would like to see it again. Because I know, some of you, I know probably most of you watching me haven't ever seen me use this deck before, but maybe some of you remember. I used to play this deck a couple of years ago. If you would like to see another video on this, or if you would like to see me play a grand challenge with it or something and get 12 wins, let me know. I'm open to do it because yeah, like I said, I really love playing this deck. And I'm happy to see that I still know how to play it after a year or so of not playing it and playing Giant Prince. Because Giant Prince is just, I think, better than it. But if Bowler gets a buff, I probably will play this deck. I probably will play this deck if Bowler gets a buff. I just want to throw that out there. Bowler gets a buff next balance change, which rumors have it will. There's a very high chance I'll use this deck, because with the Bowler getting the buff and then the Barbarians getting a buff like a few months ago, it's gonna be good, guys. Let's go in with a log here. And those were the 2 cards that were bad in the deck. It was the Bowler and the Barbarians. Those 2 cards were the reason why the deck didn't work too well. And I switched it up to Prince. But yeah, we'll just see what happens. We can only hope it gets a buff. Let's go in with Barbarians on top of that Ghost. And then have Fireball ready for... I didn't know he had Magic Archer. If he had minions, we would have Fireballed those too, but it looks like we Fireballed Magic Archer, getting even more value. He goes in with a Bandit, and I don't know if Zap will prevent it from getting a charge, but I'm going to Zap anyways, because that's the only thing I could do in this situation. Oh, yeah, it looks like it does, but if it had slightly more HP, it would have ended up getting the dash off. So yeah, Bowler is key in this game. Bowler's key, because you need to be able to push back that Battle Ram. And Barbarians on top of the P.E.K.K.A, basically what I did last game, because it looks like we're versing the exact same deck, unless he doesn't have the Fisherman, because he has the Bandit, which is good, because the Fisherman's really annoying, and they get an easy King Power activation. So, one more thing, guys, don't split Barbarians in the back, and don't do it as a first play. That's a really bad idea. That's something I never do. But I see some people do it. Well, back when I played the deck, I saw some people try to use it, and that's one thing they did. Yeah, don't, like, just split Barbarians in the back. I, like, never do that. The only time I split Barbarians is if I'm versing Expo, and they go in with, like, an Expo at the... If they go in with an Expo and I don't have my, like, Giant in rotation, sometimes I'll go in with Expo in the... excuse me, Barbarians in the middle there. But other than that, I don't split my Barbarians. Alright, I'm going to go in with a Bowler here. I'm kind of forced to, but now we just need to be really careful about the other lane, because I have a feeling he's going to go in with... Yeah, Battle Ram. Ooh, nicely played Magic Archer on his end. That was really well played. That might end up being what cost us the game here, unfortunately. That was a good Magic Archer. And he's back to P.E.K.K.A. So... What we need to hope here is that we can end up making kind of like a little bit of a comeback and making sure his Magic Archer doesn't get any more chip on our tower, otherwise we probably will lose. Alright, I'm going to go in with minions here. And then I'm going to go in with a Giant, because I was thinking he might go in with like a Magic Archer, so I was trying to predict it. He goes in with a P.E.K.K.A, so he's going to need to play something on top of those Barbarians, whether he knows that or not. So he chooses to go in with a Battle Ram on them. Let's again send in Barbarians. Okay, that wasn't a really aggressive zap. Fireball's ready for his Magic Archer. There it is. Kites it. Okay. Bowler, like I said, great counter to the Battle Ram. No way it gets through if you play the Bowler down. I'm being very patient, guys. Comebacks are... Patience is key when you're trying to make a comeback. Alright, so let's go with Barbarians here, because I feel like we wanna... Ooh, I think we might end up... Yeah, that's gonna be a good game. Alright, pretty well played on his part. I mean, I thought that we played quite well for the... I mean, for the most part. I think maybe we... I'm not too sure, but yeah, we kind of like somewhat... I wouldn't exactly say we made a comeback, but we were kind of turning things around. Like, we applied a lot of pressure with the Barbarians on the counter push. But yeah, I mean... As I said, P.E.K.K.A isn't one you're going to beat every time. It is kind of difficult. And that guy was more on top of the Barbarians. Like, he didn't screw up his defense on them like the guy before. That's why we managed to beat this guy. So yeah, I think overall this guy just ended up playing a little better. And also the Bandit does pretty well against the Bowler, since the Bowler, when the Bandit's like charging on top of it, the Bowler like rolls and then doesn't hit it. But yeah. Let's go and go to another one. I'll probably play like, yeah, a couple more. Hopefully we can win the next couple of games. That would be nice. Yeah, I'll try to get to 7,100. That should probably be the goal. And I'm going to try to get 8,000 by the end of the season. I'm going to start seriously, like, really seriously pushing, like, the next couple of days. And then I'm, yeah, going to try to get 8,000 trophies. Since I have school, I can't stay up till, like, the season ends for me at 3 a.m. And I can't stay up till 3 a.m. if I have school the next day, which I do. So I'm not going to go for, like, a top 20, 10 finish, anything insane like that. I'm instead just going to go for, like, my best finish is 15th. There's no way I'm going to be able to break that this season because of school. But I'll tell you this, next season, guys, I think I have off for whatever reason. It's some, I don't even know what it is, but I have off. Maybe it's a teacher workday or something, so that I'm gonna have a huge opportunity to like get a top 10 finish then. I think it's I have off November 4th, so I can stay up late that season. I'm happy about that. All right, so reversing 2.9. One thing I'll say about this is what a lot of people ask me, or like they say, assuming that it's really good against 2.9. And actually, this guy is Knight, so it's not exactly 2.9. But anyways, guys, this deck, believe it or not, does not hard counter 2.9. I know what people say. They say, oh, but you have Bowler and Giant. That's true. However, because they have the Tesla, we can't really get a Giant to the tower. It's really, really difficult. You kind of rely on them making a mistake. So, you typically can prevent their Expo from getting on your tower because you do have the Bowler. But, as I said, you don't really have a way of breaking through their Tesla because you don't have the miner, so you're not guaranteed any damage on their tower. What happens is if they make a mistake and you end up getting a few Giant hits on their tower, then you're able to like get aggressive with your spells and try to like spell cycle them. But guys, I don't know if you know this, when I played this deck, there was only a 1-minute overtime. So what that meant was, in lots of cases, I ended up tying Expo. I think more likely than not I tied Expo. And it's because there's truly no way for me to break through or them to break through unless they make a major mistake or unless I make a major mistake. So what I would say generally happened is, yeah, when I played the deck and there was that overtime or whatever, 80% of the time it was a tie. And now, though, yesterday when I played this deck, I think I played, I don't know how many matches of Expo. I think I played like 5 matches of Expo or so. And I think what ended up happening is we ended up tying, he doesn't know we have the Barbarians, so that's going to catch him off guard. Tying like 2 of them, and then I think we beat it 1 time because they ended up making a couple mistakes. You know what they did? They predicted my Barbarians in the middle because I had played them a couple of times, and then we switched up the placement of them. Like, I think I played them higher or something. So that's what you do, guys. If you're playing 2.9, and if they know you have Barbarians, switch up your placement because they'll try to go in for a prediction, and what'll end up happening is they'll miss it if you change up the position of the Barbarians. So right here, we're going to get a really nice Fireball on top of the Expo and Archers. And now it's safe to go in with the Giant in the back. What I like about this deck is when you're versing Expo, it's safe to go with Giant in the back if you have the Barbarians or Bowler in rotation. And he decides to go in with an Expo. Look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in with Barbarians over there. And the reason why is because I didn't want him to prediction, like, in the middle on my Barbarians, if that makes sense. Let's go in with the Zap here. So now he doesn't have a Tesla in rotation. I'm actually going to get really aggressive here and Fireball that Knight because I really want to kill it to be able to try to get our Giant to the tower. Ooh, bad Ice Spirit because look at that Giant, guys. Alright. I'll take that damage. That's actually really nice for us. I'm going to go in for Prediction Bowler here. I don't know if that was actually a prediction because we, he kind of had already played it, but I don't know. I guess it was kind of a prediction. Like, I knew he was going to play it. Oh, wow. I think that was a bad Tesla, guys. I'm going to Fireball that, and the reason why I say it was bad is because it didn't really pull the Giant. If that Giant just gets, I think, 1 hit, we'll be in a great position to win. There we go, guys. The Giant ends up getting a hit. I'm going to go in with a Zap here. I'm going to Prediction Bowler. And, ooh, he doesn't end up dropping an Expo. That's fine, that's fine. I think we're still in a good spot. Let's just take it easy here. I'm going to Fireball that Archer, because that Tesla wasn't that good, and also that might allow the minion to get to the tower. It did. So as long as I think we stop this Expo, we could potentially Fireball cycle. Potentially. Alright, there we go. Guys, I think we can do it, because if we Fireball, we can Fireball Zap and Log, and we'll take the tower. Yep, Fireball Log takes it. So that's going to be the game, guys. I felt like we played this quite well. I would say he made a couple minor mistakes. His Tesla placements, I think, were a little off, and that's what allowed us to break through. But what I will say is you can't really lose the matchup when you're versing 2.9. But on the flip side, if you're versing a really good 2.9 player, you can't expect to win it either. So don't be overly aggressive and feel, you know, don't be worried like if you keep tying it, because yesterday, I mean, I kept tying it, and yeah, if you verse good 2.9 players, you're just not going to break through. That guy, his Teslas were a little off, as I said, and that just kind of allowed us to get a few giant hits in, and yeah. Alright, let's go in for one last game. Win or loss, this will be the last game. Even if we lose, we'll still have a winning record, because we won 3 games this video, I think. We beat RG, we beat Pekka, and we beat Expo, so if we beat this guy, we'll be 4-1, and if we lose it, we'll be 3-2, so winning record, no matter what, so really no pressure, and we're versing Mortar, so Mortar is the easiest matchup for this deck. I hope I don't, like, jinx myself and, like, choke it, but ideally, if we can get out a single elixir without having too much damage dealt on us, then generally, it's not too bad. Oh, so he has skeletons. This might be kind of... We'll have to see what the rest of his Mortar deck is. If it's Mortar baits, like with Goblin Gang and stuff, then it's typically... Yeah, pretty easy, but this is looking like a slightly different variant, so we'll have to wait and see what his whole deck is. But the Rascals I'm liking, because I like seeing the Rascals, because our Bowler does really good against those. So we're just going to chill out here. I'm actually not too sure why he's waiting, since we actually do better in double against him, so he should ideally be trying to apply a lot of pressure here. I'm not going to go in with the Giant in front of that. The only reason why, there we go. That's why I didn't want to do it. If you're not sure if they have the minion horde or not, you just want to go in with... I'm going to minions here. I mean, maybe they weren't necessary, but I felt like if I didn't, he might have zapped the Mega Minion, and then those bats would have actually gotten a decent amount of damage on our tower. And also, we don't really necessarily need the Mega Minions. The most important thing when you're versing Mortar is to save your spells. Okay, let's go in with a Giant here. That's the correct placement. Whenever they go in with a Mortar, just go in with a Giant there, especially if you don't have your Bowler in rotation, which I don't think we did. So he goes in with his Minion Horde, which I unfortunately do not have a Fireball in rotation for. So we're just going to have to... The reason why I set up that Bowler there is because I had a feeling he was going to go in with a Miner. Okay, so we're in double. This is the exact place we want to be in. Now, guys, we might get that bypass I was talking about, right? I was talking about a bypass you can do with the... Okay. What I'm going to show you guys is going to be pretty crazy if I pull it off and don't screw it up. I think I did it. That's how you do it, guys. So in that situation, the Giant isn't going to end up getting that much damage on his tower. But look at that. That's how you do it. You bypass their Mortar. And you can do that with cannons. You can do that with almost every single defense, guys. And that's how you end up breaking through defenses sometimes. Let's see if I do it again. Well played. I think he adjusted his Mortar placement, so it didn't work that time. Or we just screwed up the bypass altogether, which might have been another reason why it didn't work. Okay. So, I'm honestly going in here. And then let's log his Rascals. There they are. Barbarians are still up and might deal some damage to that Rascal boy. If he actually cycles 2 rockets, we'll end up losing. Hopefully that bypassed. Nah, he ended up... Ooh, guys, I actually think we have him. Log here. One more hit, Bowler. Yes! That's going to be a good game, guys. Wow. That was actually a really nice episode, guys. I honestly... One of the most fun episodes I've had in a while because I'm using a deck that I used like 2 years ago and it's still working. Unbelievable. And guys, if the Bowler gets a buff, I don't know what to say. I think I'm actually going to use this deck again. Yes, guys, I know, as crazy as it might sound, yes, I used to use Giant Bowler Barbarians. I'm not kidding. I actually did use this deck. Wow. Like, guys, it works. It works, okay? As ridiculous as it might sound, it works. It works. I finished top... My best finish with it is 48th in the world. So, I mean, practice the interactions, you can have success for it. If you're, like, looking for an off-meta deck, this is your best bet. And we got 7,100, and, you know, we hit our goal. I mean, that's... I mean, good stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like it if you did. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and if you want to see this deck again in like a GC or something, let me know. I'll be down to play it in a grand challenge or something, get 12 wins, and basically show some like more matchups and stuff. Because we didn't verse any Lava Hound, which I will say, guys, Lava Hound is one of the harder things to beat with the deck, because you only have 2 air counters, the minions and the Mega Minion. And often what happens is if they have arrows, then yeah, you're kind of screwed. Because they'll just arrow the minions. And then you'll only have 1 Mega Minion to deal with their whole Lava Hound balloon push. But basically what you have to do is be really, really aggressive. That's like the only way you'll win the matchup. But yeah, it's really difficult. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. And as I said, Discord link will be in the description below. I like to, yeah, shout that out like once a month. So make sure to... yeah, check that out, and yeah, thanks again until next time, guys.